Right, this is me testing the microphone here. Hopefully that works. Yeah, no. How do I check which? Here we are at the Oxford City Velocity Stadium. I'm Joshua Corber-Hoffman. Alongside me is Matt Griffiths for this first of our 3 games covering for Cam FM. Welcome to the YouTube live stream. At the moment, it's 10 minutes in to this first game, the Oxford Colts against the Cambridge Kestrels, the men's thirds of Cambridge against the men's thirds of Oxford. And we have 10 minutes in and it's 0-0. Matt, do you have anything analysis-wise from this first 10 minutes so far here in Oxford?
It's been an open start to the game, very end to end. At the moment, there's a little bit of argy-bargy going on in the down the Oxford right. That's where they seem to be having all of their success. Meanwhile, Cambridge are absorbing the pressure fairly well and have had a few decent forays into the Oxford half.
Thank you, Matt. As Max Asaley passes it out wide and reclaims possession here, trying to get it out wide there on the wing to Aaron Agrawal. Oxford have it now in defence, trying to lump it upfield, but it's headed all the way back, and it's going to be back to Max Asaley there. You can give it back to the Cambridge goalkeeper today, Liam Matthews. Asaley seeing a lot of the ball immediately, just in the back of defence, trying to lump it upfield to Sunawar, but it's intercepted. Oxford can try and make some progress in the midfield here as Cambridge get it clear, and it goes all the way back to the Oxford University goalkeeper, who's going to have a throw in just by the corner flag there on the far side. Cambridge attacking from right to left as we look in the full Cambridge blue And Oxford left to right in the full Oxford blue. Cambridge in the lighter blue, Oxford in the darker. Well, this fixture, as we know, this rivalry is one of the oldest rivalries in world football, potentially the oldest. Cambridge University Association Football Club, founded in 1856. Oxford University Association Football Club, founded in 1872. As Sunawar tries to make a play forward, just too far ahead there of the Cambridge attacker, Paul Houston there. Really good attempt there from Sunawar, just trying to get him through, but couldn't quite make it there. Good effort, though. Cambridge on good form, the Kestrels. They've won a lot of games this season. Not in the Bucks League, but playing very well, famously beating the Seconds, actually, in a friendly earlier this season, as they just try to make progress on this right-hand side, taken forward now. They're going to try and play it out wide to Sunawar, but first to Ralph Ivy. Here's Sunawar now on the left-hand side. Crowd loving his skills. Ivy has it back in defense, and it goes all the way back to Asali in front of his own penalty area. Asali can now try and make progress. Tries to get it forward down to the right-hand side. Here's Houston again. Houston does really well. Sunawar, he's seeing a lot of the ball at the moment in the center of the park, playing very well indeed. Good pass there from Leonwell Osei Bliney. Can try and play it forward to Houston, who is outstrength there, just at the end, in front of the penalty area. Oxford can now try and get it clear on this left-hand side. Here they come again. Well blocked in the end in the midfield. Here's Houston. Back to the right-hand side with Anwar. Anwar still has it now. He's going to try and get it across to Osei Bliney. He can get it now and plays it all the way back to the right back. Anwar again. Osei Bliney makes a really good run on the right-hand side. I think that was actually number 15 there on the right-hand side. Macaful Avavor. Just trying to familiarize ourselves with all the players. We know a number of them, but only one of them actually today making their debut. Only one of them, not making their debut for the Kestrels today. And that is Ujal Sunawar, who you can tell the experience already in this game playing in the heart of the midfield. Matt, any thoughts since we last spoke to you?
A good spell of Cambridge possession there, and it's been interesting to see that after I last spoke to you, Cambridge seemed to have mostly managed to hold the ball and the territory just inside the Oxford half without any penetration. So good work good organisation from the Oxford defence. Meanwhile, Cambridge keeping possession nicely and tapping it around the midfield. Over to you, Josh.
Thanks, Matt. Cambridge looking the stronger team, I would say, so far. Oxford have had a couple spells of possession, but at the moment it looks like Cambridge who are more likely to score. As Oxford try and lump it upfield on this AstroTurf pitch, they're going to have to do a bit better than that, I think, today, as it goes all the way back to the goalkeeper, playing it out wide again. Asali now can play it out wide to Avavor. Can play it forward, but it's just too far ahead of Anwar there, and it's going to go all the way back to the Oxford goalkeeper. Danny Sanchez playing up front with Houston today. Haven't seen too much of him today. Houston being used as the target man, it looks like. Looks like a standard 4-4-2 formation here for Cambridge. Oxford player is dispossessed, and now they can come forward. Here they come, Cambridge in the midfield. Goes away back, sensible back to the defence as they come up now. Sunawar can't quite get there as Oxford reclaim possession on this near side of the midfield. Sunawar battling really hard though, but he can't quite get the better of the Oxford player as Oxford come down their right-hand side. Ivy using his strength to get possession here. And now comes Sunawar on this left-hand side. He can make some progress. Cambridge winning possession back really well. Sunawar using his skills to get past one, then two. And eventually the referee gives the decision to Cambridge. Crowd loving that. Really, really good play from Cambridge. Started from Ivy here on this left-hand side. Winning possession, then Kennedy, and then Sunawar. Really good combination from those three. And Cambridge looking very confident indeed as the chants start cheering out around this stadium. Ivy can give it back to Hicks in the defense, who can try and lump it up again to Anwar. That seems to be a very common tactic for Cambridge. As Osei Bliney gets it again. Gives it to Anwar here out on this right-hand side. Here come Cambridge, just too far for Houston there, unfortunately. And Oxford have the ball back. Challenge there, but it's going to go all the way upfield for Khan. And it's cleared away in the end by Hicks for Cambridge. That was a dangerous sign. Here's Osei Bliney in the midfield, just in their own half. Now they come out wide. Sunawar has it now. Really good play. Here comes Sunoir, got the ball from Kennedy then. He's using his trick. He can get it to Sanchez here on this left-hand side, who might just be too long for him. And Cambridge, I don't think, are going to get the decision. I think he might have kept it in, and they play on, and the ball's in the back of the net. But it's not going to count. I think the linesman's flagged, or it's flagged for a goal kick of some description. And unfortunately for Cambridge, that is going to be a goal kick for Oxford. The annoying thing about YouTube is you can see how many viewers we have, and we have none. But there will, I'm sure, be a few coming shortly. Here's Oscar here for Oxford on this right-hand side. Plays trying to playing out from the back wisely, but Ivy's there to intercept, and he can do really well. Sanchez can just not quite hook the ball to Houston, which was the intention, but really good progressive play from Ivy. He's looking very good indeed. That was very confident from Ivy. Is this microphone even working? Is this mic? I think this, yeah, no, this is fine. It's lumped up to Oscar on the right-hand side. Sunoir just begging his teammates to take their time a bit more. They are lumping the ball out of play a little bit too quickly here. Here's the Oxford centre-back now, trying to make progress here, passing it out from the back a lot more than Cambridge. Here on the right-hand side, here is an attempt here from Avavoy. He's trying to get it in from the right-hand side. Crosses it in. Oh, just too far for Houston. It went through the legs of Houston, actually. Really good attempt here. But, Ivy's beaten here. And can Ivy get there? Yes, he can, but he's beaten his Khan. He's going to try and shoot now from the outside on the right-hand side of the penalty area. But it's really good play from, I believe, Hicks there. And Ralph Ivy can get it clear eventually. Here's the Oxford number 10 who can shoot from range. And it's over the bar. A nervy moment in the end there, Matt.
Very much so. The initial mistake from Captain Ivy gave Khan a chance to use his pace and burst down the right. And I have to say that Khan has been the Oxford number 7 here on playing on the right wing, has really been their main outballs so far this first half. But fantastic work by Marcus Hicks. He didn't dive in. He stood up the Oxford winger, and in the end, his captain got back and hooked the ball away before a tame shot floated over the bar from the Oxford number 10. But interesting developments there. That's the first sniff Oxford had in a while, and I think that might be a format for the game, with Cambridge having the ball, keeping possession, and Oxford playing on the break. Back to you, Josh.
Well, it's a beautiful day for it. Sun is out, not a cloud to be seen in the sky. It's cold, but Cambridge are looking hot at the moment, looking more likely to get a goal than Oxford. And that looks like a bit of a dangerous tackle there on Osei-Baini. The referee's given it Cambridge's way. Cambridge are confident going into this game. Captain Ivy told me that he's expecting a victory here from the Blues, and hopefully that is going to be the case as Sunoir looks free on the left-hand side from this free kick that's going to be taken by Max Asali. He's going to try just inside the Cambridge half, going to try and lump it forward as they've been doing all game so far. He does so, and it's a very good kick, but it's just too far, and it goes all the way to the Oxford goalkeeper, who can claim it quite easily. He's looking for Khan here on this right-hand side. Oscar can head it on, but now it's back with Kennedy. Kennedy can play a really nice ball there through to Sanchez, but it only goes as far. But he's Osei-Baini, brilliant ball to Anavar. Oh, it's just too far, but the goalie spills it. It's Anavar again. Anavar tries to get it away. He's on the floor. He kind of, oh my word, this is almost pinball and chaos in the Oxford penalty area. Anwar, I believe it was, who had the ball, the number 14, Agrawal. He had the ball in the penalty area. He went down on the goalie's challenge, and then he was lying on the floor and almost playing football from the ground. Kicked the ball, almost set up a really nice opportunity there. But unfortunately, Oxford just crowded out Cambridge in the penalty area, and it looked to be, it's going to be a Oxford throw-in, Cambridge throw-in. They headed on, but it's cleared away by Oxford. Frantic moment. He's Osei-Baini. The game's a little bit scrappy at the moment, I think. There are a lot of both teams going for long balls, but here come Oxford running and making progress into the Cambridge half, just by the Cambridge dugout. All the Cambridge Blues standing up. They're too nervous to sit down there. And Cambridge are going to get the decision for a throw-in on the far side, just inside the Cambridge half. Matt, Cambridge had an opportunity there.
Yeah, they certainly did. Good diagonal ball from, I believe, Paul Houston, and Aaron Agrawal runs onto it, takes it past the keeper, and is semi-tackled, but then the keeper can't. The Oxford goalie doesn't maintain possession of the ball. Agrawal goes down, as Josh said, and he almost, as the ball's bouncing around, he volleys it, but while lying perfectly horizontal on the floor, much to our amusement, to try and square it back for a teammate. It doesn't quite work for Cambridge that time, but it was good pressure nonetheless. As you say, the game is looking a little bit scrappy, but I think that is to be expected, and hopefully as both teams settle down, we can look forward to a bit more quality.
Thank you, Matt. Oxford have the ball again inside the Cambridge half on this far side, attacking from left to right. And Saley tries to make the interception, but it's only as far as the Oxford number 9, who can now try and cut inside. And he's still got possession of the ball despite being crowded out. But that's good play from Avavor. Can get it into the box now, though. Oxford is... Oh, he's loved the keeper, and it's into the net. Oh, and Cambridge have conceded here. It's Oxford 1, Cambridge 0. It was a tidy finish. The keeper came out trying to close down the angles, but the Oxford player was creative, used a little bit of magic to lob the keeper there, and Cambridge unexpectedly here go 1-0 down, and they'll be really disappointed with that, Matt.
Yeah, that was something out of nothing for Oxford. Won the ball back off a Cambridge throw in 3 passes and a pretty tame-looking ball into the box, but fantastic work from the Oxford goal scorer there. I believe it's number 21. Castellanos. Apologies there, we're just trying to read his shirt, but Castellanos did magnificently well to run to the corner of the 6-yard box, and as the ball bounced and Liam Matthews came out of his goal to claim it, Castellanos, with the presence of mind, just to deftly dink it over the stranded Cambridge goalkeeper into the far corner. A tidy finish, and yeah, questions got to be asked of the Cambridge defence as to why it was only Castellanos left to run straight through onto Liam Matthews in the Cambridge goal. I'm going to hand back to Josh as the Oxford goalkeeper has possession in his box.
Cambridge attacking now. Husunawar just outside the box, but he's dispossessed. Liam Matthews, of course, beaten a few minutes ago in the Cambridge goal. I think Cambridge, in my mind, are struggling a little bit with the surface here. It is AstroTurf. The ball isn't bouncing as high as they might expect. They need to keep the ball on the ground, and that Oxford's attack was a display of that. They played the ball a few passes on the ground on the left-hand side, attacking from left to right on the far side as we look at the picture in the press box here. And the Cambridge defence just couldn't deal with it. Slightly afraid to make a tackle. Of course, it was in the penalty area. Didn't want to give anything silly away, but in the end, the result was a goal as Cambridge win possession with Euston right outside the Oxford penalty area. It's a dangerous place to lose possession, and here comes Cambridge, and it's a decent effort there, but it's just not ever really going to trouble the goalkeeper. It was right in front of the goalie, inside the penalty area, but in the end, he smothers it. And Sanchez, I think, will be a little bit disappointed with that, but Cambridge had an opportunity there as Oxford play out from the back now again. Here's Pugh, gives it out to Caesar on the right-hand side, the captain for Oxford. Lions is dispossessed, though. Here's Sanchez, can shoot from outside the box. Really good effort here. The goalie was struggling. He was a little bit off his line. Sanchez saw that he had an opportunity to go for goal. It was just outside the Oxford penalty area. Good effort, but the goalie got down quick enough to prevent the ball from resulting in an equaliser for Cambridge. Here's Sunawar again, who's been dominating this Cambridge midfield. Can try and take it out to the left-hand side, but he's tackled in the end by Hodgson's. Cambridge are going to have the throw, though. It's going to be the left-back and captain Ralph Ivey to take this one. Going to try and launch something of a comeback here for Cambridge. Thrown out nicely. Here's Kennedy in the midfield for Cambridge, the number 16. Gives it out back to Asali, just inside the Cambridge as Osei gets it and gives it out to Avavor on the right-hand side. Here's Agrawal, who's had the best chance of the game so far, potentially. Osei loses possession, though, with a loose pass, and Oxford are going to try and kick it long here. But it's blocked well by Osei who's challenged really well throughout this game. He's going to get the ball on the right-hand side by the corner flag. But it's intercepted only as far as Agrawal, though, in the penalty area, but he's dispossessed, and Oxford can try and launch it clear. But it's only as far as Euston, who just can't quite get the shot away before the incoming Oxford player can take the ball out of his feet. Ivy heads it well to applause from the Cambridge fans here on the near side. Or that looks like a bit of a dangerous tackle from Sanchez, and the referee does give it Oxford's way. And finally, we have a bit of respite in play. Cambridge looking, again, the more likely to score, but you do fear for the defence a little bit.
Absolutely. That is a series of attacks there for Cambridge. Probably the best chance there was the shot by Sanchez that just described to you a few moments ago. The ball broke on the edge of the Oxford box. A quick pass in from the influential Sunwar into Sanchez. He took a touch, turned and shot, but the keeper got down well, slightly wrong-footed, and managed to hold on and clear. Good header there from Paul Ivy, and the ball's in the middle of the park.
Good header there from Ivy, as Oxford have it on the left-hand side, but a beautiful back heel actually on the left-hand side, but dispossessed in the end by Avavor. But Oxford have it again. A lot of changeovers of possession here, as you might expect. Kicked long, and Ivy can head it again. It's the third time he's headed it in the space of 2 minutes. I can attest that he doesn't usually head it when he's playing for Clare College Football Club, but clearly turns it on for Cambridge as Ralph puts the ball down there, Ralph Ivy, to take the free kick here. Launches it long, aimed, I think, either for Sanchez or Agraval, but it's only as far as the Oxford man. It's Castellanos, the goal scorer. Can try and kick it long there. Really beautiful pass, actually, all the way outside to the number 69 on the left wing here. What a joker picking that number. Denny up to 99. Here's the number 9, though, for Oxford on the left-hand side by the corner flag. Really good effort from Osei-Baini, though. And in the end, he wins a goal kick. Really good effort there from Osei-Baini to win it. And Cambridge are keen to get on with it. But at the moment, Oxford have some passes of the ball. Castellanos there, who actually scored the goal with a beautiful pass there out wide to the left-hand side. As Max Asaley can try and bring it out outside his penalty area. And Agraval has it again. Back to Asaley here, who's seeing a lot of the ball here in this defensive line. Gives it to Kennedy, the number 16 in midfield. Again, the tactic is clearly to go direct for Cambridge. They're not necessarily trying to pass their way out from the back as much as Oxford are. Is that going to be their downfall, though? As Agraval has it here on the right-hand side. It can try and make progress into the Oxford half, but he's dispossessed instantly. But Avavor has Agraval looking for the ball here, looking for the return ball from Sanchez. Sanchez does really well to definitely turn past 1-2. And now he can try and look for the shot here. He's in the Oxford penalty area. He's just one touch too many, perhaps. But he wins it back, and here's Agraval. Can play it into the box, and Oxford, in the end, get it clear for a corner kick. Really good progress, though, from Agraval and Sanchez on this right-hand side, Matt.
Absolutely. Some nice touches there, especially from Cambridge forward, Danny Sanchez of St. Catherine's College. He's a tricky customer, and he showed the Oxford defence just what he's got in his locker there. A lovely little sidestep to jinx between two defenders, and good interplay between the two Cambridge players wins them the corner. It's about to be taken by Sunuma.
Taken there, but it's intercepted in the end by Oxford. It comes to nothing. Agraval on the corner, and the ball bounces as it's wont to do in this stadium out into the forest behind. The stand is very much exposed to a field, and a few lost balls. A couple of my friends claimed a couple of their own last year when the game was played here. And Hicks can play it out wide to Ivy on this left-hand side. Can play it down here now to Sunawar, who is dispossessed and actually loses out to the throw-in, which is going to be taken by Caesar, the Oxford captain. Powell gives it all the way back to the Oxford goalkeeper in the yellow and black tracksuit. Here come Oxford now. Here's Caesar on the right-hand side again. Oh, it's very strong tackle indeed. To rounds of applause. Kennedy there tackling the Castellanos, the Oxford goal scorer, to concede a throw-in, but very strong tackle indeed, especially on this AstroTurf in such beautiful conditions. Hicks halts the progress of Mack, the number 9 for Oxford, and Khan and Mack looking for the down-the-line throw-in here from Powell here on this near side as Oxford attack from left to right. Powell throws it down looking for Khan, who can jump for it and wins it, and Castellanos wins it. Cambridge looking to win a few more headers here. Ivy can get it, though, competently to Sunawa on this left-hand side. He can play it nicely to Sanchez, who's showing wise in this team with some very nice skills. But in the end, one touch too many yet again. Ivy heads it for the millionth time. Cleared away now, all the way to Max Asaley, who can head it back to Kennedy, who's starting to grow into this game. Osei-Baini doing well as usual. Sanchez, who's playing up front, but he's dropping back nicely into that kind of Harry Kane role from time to time. Here's Agraval on the right-hand side, plays it to Osei-Baini in between the midfield and the penalty area. Here's Kennedy looking for some kind of run, plays brilliantly to Sunawar, but he can't quite get hold on to it. Sunawar puts his thumbs up there. A good pass forward from Kennedy, who's growing into this game more and more, isn't he, Matt?
I would say so too. It seems like Kennedy there of Alan Kennedy of Girton College has really stepped up after that crunching challenge on the Oxford goal scorer. It really got the crowd going, and I think it got him going too, because the last few times he's got the ball we've played against him in college football, and he's a bit of a Rolls Royce midfielder, like very, very elegant on the ball, composed under pressure. And that's the first time we've seen him get on the ball, look up, and try and slip in a teammate. And it's so nearly played in Ujal Sunwar there.
Oxford have it now in the centre-back position. Number 4 trying to drive it out for Oxford, trying to play it long over to the left-hand side to the number 69. But the flag is up, unfortunately, for Oxford, and Cambridge are going to have a free kick just outside their penalty area here. And it's going to be taken by Max Asali, the number 4, to try and get something going for Cambridge. They've going from gear to gear. They're going up faster and faster, but they just haven't quite gone to full rev yet. As Hicks gives it to Kennedy in the midfield, the man we were just discussing. You can give it out wide nicely to Sunawar, who can try and take on Caesar here, but he decides instead to go central to Sanchez. He's progressing nicely. Here's Agrawal, just outside the Oxford penalty area with a beautiful back heel, but it can't quite make it to Sunawar, who went round him in the overlap from the left to the right. But in the end, it just gets cut out on the outside of the Oxford penalty area, and Cambridge can't quite get that penetration that they're looking for, as it's kicked out of play by Asali for an Oxford throw just inside the Cambridge half. Cambridge with some good progress, though, looking more and more likely to get a shot away. They've just got that one shot so far from Sanchez, that one shot on target stopped nicely by the Oxford goalkeeper, but they're looking more and more likely to try and have a shot on goal. Here's Ralph Ivey, though, again in the left-back position for Cambridge. Gives it to Sunawar, gets it back off him, though, and he's progressing nicely into the Oxford half. Ivey's still going. Here he is on this left-hand side. He can play it nice on the overlap to Sunawar, who's outside of the penalty area by the corner flag. He can play it beautifully to... Oh, what a lovely turn from Euston, number 17 for Cambridge. Lob goal! And Euston with a beautiful goal! Well, what a goal that was! It was but it might have been called for offside, though, or a foul. Ivey's appealing for something, the Cambridge captain. He's going to have a word with the referee here. Referee's not too happy. There's something being given here. It was a beautiful move. It started off with Ivey. He played it from within his own half to Sunawar, who then gave it back to Ivey on the 1-2, who gave it back to Sunawar, who overlapped, went down to the corner flag, gave it to Euston, who turned beautifully and lobbed the goalie from outside the penalty area at a very, very tight angle indeed. And something's been given. I think it might be a free kick to Cambridge. A free kick to Cambridge, that is very strange. Well, Cambridge are fuming because I think actually that was an advantage that should have been played, but the referee had already blown his whistle, and Cambridge will be fuming with that decision because that was a beautiful goal. I'm going to hand over to you, Matt, in a second after this free kick is taken with Ujal Sunawar is going to be standing over this one. Or is it Agrawal? It's Agrawal here on this left-hand side. He's going to go for goal. Oh, well. A reaction save there from the goalkeeper to stop a very good effort from Agrawal. But Matt, thoughts on that? I mean, the referee got it wrong there, didn't he?
Yeah, unfortunately, the referee has made a mistake there. There may have been, I think there was a foul on Ujal Sunawar, but he'd already played the ball into Paul Euston, who then turned magnificently and played in. Was it a cross? Was it a shot? We'll never know. But as the corner is just cleared away by Oxford, yeah. Was it a shot or was it a cross? I don't think anyone will ever know. Certainly he won't admit to it. But yeah, it floated over the Oxford goalkeeper into the far corner. But the ref had already blown. Hence, despite the protestation from Cambridge, they had no dice. Meanwhile, a nudge in the back has won Cambridge a free kick about 35 yards out, and Agrawal is standing over it, shaping to shoot as they hand back to Josh.
We're doing the Ronaldo stance, isn't he? He's about 35 yards out here, 40 yards out. He's going to go for goal, though, it looks like. He shoots, a bit of a knuckleball, but it's wide of the post. I think he's trying to kind of expose this goalkeeper. He did make a very good reaction save, but he doesn't quite look like his positioning's on point, to be honest, the Oxford goalkeeper. And Cambridge are going to try and take advantage of that with quite a few shots here, as a few of the Cambridge Blues, for the next game, walk in front of us outside the press box. We're still 1-0 to Oxford here in the 37th minute of the varsity match between the Cambridge Kestrels and the Oxford Colts, the men's thirds varsity match here in Oxford City at the Velocity Stadium. It's Oxford 1, Cambridge 0. Just the one goal from Castellanos on this left-hand side, beating Liam Matthews in the Cambridge goal. Here come Oxford again, though, with a bit of pressure, but Sunawar can defend and get it clear for an Oxford throw just on this near side, halfway between the halfway line and the penalty area. Comes off Castellanos here, but it's in the end fallen fortuitously for Oxford, but it goes all the way through in the end to Liam Matthews in the Cambridge goal. The keeper's had his injury problems this year, but he's returned in times for varsity, played in the Cuppers final last year for Homerton, the second-year economist, and he's been beaten once today, but other than that, he's shown himself to be a very competent keeper, despite his injury struggles this season, as Cambridge come on the right-hand side to Agrawal. Really good play from Cambridge, as Osei gets it comfortably in the midfield, but it's cleared out by Caesar, and Castellanos can pass it all the way back, but it's broken for Houston. Can't quite take advantage of that misstep by Castellanos, as Oxford can come and try and clear, and it looks like the number 9's free here. No flag here. Oxford have the ball. He should have got the shot away sooner. Goes for the deft lob. Well, looks like every shot's going to try and be a lob today, isn't it, Matt? But that was dangerous. I thought it might have been offside. Kennedy can't believe it, but if he'd got that shot away sooner, then it might have been 2-0 to Oxford.
Indeed. I think he may have thought he was offside as well. Cambridge have been playing the offside trap well. As you may have heard Josh mention earlier in the game, there was an offside against Oxford where the Cambridge line held firm and stood up and stepped up quickly to catch the striker out. But no flag this time. And just a heavy touch for Mack, who's playing number 9 for Oxford. He took a heavy touch. It forced him wide. Hicks got back in front of him, again delayed him, and the attempted dink really was never going in.
The danger signs are there, though, for both sides. At the moment, it's Oxford who have the lead 1-0 here. Caesar has it on this right-hand side. And Sanchez trying to do something with the ball here, but he's crowded out by Caesar and Castellanos, who are the two men who we've mentioned the most here for Oxford. Caesar can try and play it through to Khan, who deals with it well for Oxford. He turns and jinks his way, but Ivy's there to intercept it and to get it all the way back to the number 4.
I was just to say, Josh, there was a foul on the Oxford number 7 Khan there just before Ivy stepped in and cleared. He had his heels clipped by Sunoir, so the ref, I think this time got it right and has brought it back for the Oxford free kick.
Well, Oxford have the free kick here outside the penalty area and lobbed in all the way, and Cambridge win the throw, fortunately, here, as Agrawal can try and get it away, but in the end, Oxford deal with it. That was a decent opportunity for a ball into the box. It was about halfway between the halfway line and the penalty area. Tried to lob it in, but Cambridge did well to win the first header. As Cambridge now have it at the back. Can try and bring it out with Hicks. You can get it to Osei. Max Saley now has it again in the defense and gives it out to Kennedy there. Here's Hicks at the back, and he's intercepted by Castellanos, but he wins it back nicely, but he's intercepted again by Castellanos. Castellanos now has it here on this right-hand side in the edge of the penalty area for Cambridge, and there's some kind of trip, and the decision goes Cambridge's way. Khan, I think, inadvertently chips Kennedy there. He's a bit disappointed with the decision, but you can see why it was given. Oxford pressing high, Cambridge defending well for now, although they are 1-0 down.
Yeah, Cambridge defending well, as Oxford put on a little bit of pressure just towards the end of this first half. Kennedy won the free kick there, having the ref judging him to have been able to clear the ball away had he not been tripped over by Khan, even though that was a pretty contentious decision. Kennedy's grown into the game as the match has gone on, and Cambridge looked best when him and Osei have had a time to just get their foot on the ball, touch, turn, and for the last 5 minutes, they have not been able to do that. I'm sure that the very dapper-looking Kestrels coaches, Ryan Hoffman and Nick Gallagher, both returning blues and wearing their blazers, looking very, very smart on the far touchline, will want to have a word with the boys and say, look, lads, when we get the ball on the floor, that's when Cambridge will look dangerous. Otherwise, Oxford have been playing the better football in the middle of the park, and here they come again.
Tackled nicely by Ivy, who's indignant with that decision by the referee. He thinks that wasn't a free kick, but the referee's given it. Just a moment ago, as Matt was talking, Cambridge had a chance to play the ball in behind, but Oxford managed to intercept well. Powell there with the interception, working well here with Caesar at the back for Oxford. Oxford have a free kick in a central position about 35 yards out, and it's going to be the number 10 Hodgson's to take. He's going to try and play to Castellanos, but it's not well worked at all, and Ivy can bring it clear on the ground to Sanchez now, who can turn, can try and use his hold-up play here to his advantage. Lovely feat from Sanchez to get it past Castellanos and then play a long ball, which in the end doesn't work, but that's a prime demonstration. If you have technical players like that, then why are you trying to kick it long every single time you have it? Here's Caesar on the right-hand side. Tries to get past one. He's tackled fairly by Kennedy. And now Houston can try and be played in here. Houston can run onto it, but it's a very, very useful tackle by Powell, who can get it back to the Oxford goalkeeper, who can then lump it clear in his bright yellow shirt and black tracksuits. Oxford have it here on the far side, attacking from left to right. Osei wins it back, though, as I've said many times. Osei still with the ball. Loses out, though, to his number 8 counterpart for Oxford. You can try and play it out wide here. Here's the left winger for Oxford, taken down by Agrawal, sorry, but I'm getting confused between the right and left wingers here at times for Cambridge. Here's Osei Biney. He can bring it out. Here's Agrawal. And in the end, it's given. Avavor trying to bring the ball out, the number 15. Avavor gives it to Agrawal here on this right-hand side. And in the end, Cambridge have the throw-in and have the free kick, and it's going to be taken quickly. Here's Kennedy. Kennedy compared to Hicks, who can try back quickly to Sunawa here on this left-hand side, who started brightly but hasn't quite got the service in this second part of the second half. We're only a couple minutes away from half-time as Oxford tried to bring the ball clear, but interesting. The goalie came out to claim it, but he just outside the box. So he had to use his feet and pass it out. Nervy moment, though, for Cambridge. Here's Agrawal on this right-hand side. Agrawal can try and dink it long to Sanchez, who can run after it, and he wins the throw-in for Cambridge. Nervy moment there for Liam Matthews in the Cambridge goal, but in the end, he dealt with it nicely. He's got good feet there as the Homertonian. As it's going to be a throw-in here taken, I assume, by the right back here, Avavor. Here is Osei Biney now. Can try and give it to Kennedy. He does so successfully. Ivy's calling for it, but it's intercepted by Oxford. Agrawal can chase, but it's cleared away. And it's going to be another Cambridge throw just outside the penalty area here on the far side as they attack from right to left. It's going to be Avavor again, the right back to take it, the number 15. There's an option there for Kennedy if he wants it. Or he's going to try and go down the line here. Here's Houston, who's been useful here on this right-hand side. And he wins a corner, does he? No. Yes, the corner is won by Cambridge. Cambridge have a corner on this far side by the Oxford faithful. To be honest, it looks like Cambridge have a few more fans than Oxford here. No chance of your stadium's too big for you yet, man, although we might have expected it. He's going to be taken here by Agrawal on this right-hand side. Lumps the ball into the box, aiming for a Saley, but it's controlled beautifully by Castellanos, who can then just hook it clear up and under there for Cambridge, and Avavor can head it away straight to Osei Biney. Good head. Here's Ivy on this left-hand side. Oh, he looks like Houston might have been chipped here, but he still has the possession of the ball. Here's Sunawa on this left-hand side. Cuts inside, and here's Sanchez to Houston. It might be an offside flag. Here it is. And Cambridge playing a bit better football here. They're more calm, more composed as the halftime whistle approaches. Still Oxford 1, Cambridge 0. Matt, any thoughts so far? Or as Oxford actually have it here in possession. I'll come to you, Matt, in a second, as Ivy can get it clear to Kennedy, but it's cut out, and Castellanos has it, and Cambridge appeal for the throw, and they win it. It's going to be Ivy to take it quickly on this left-hand side, aware that the clock is ticking down in this first half for Cambridge University Kestrels. Headed down this left-hand side and headed out by Oxford, as Oxford have it again. It's going to be Ivy who takes it on this left-hand side. Houston throws the ball to him to take. Ivy, the Clare College captain, of course. Sunawa has it on the left-hand side, goes down under the challenge of the Oxford defender, but it's finally a goal kick for Oxford. Matt Griffiths.
Well, as you've been hearing, it's been a period of sustained Cambridge pressure with some nice interplay, and once again showing that whenever Cambridge do play out on the floor, they're having significant success in terms of territory and possession. We had the corner. Unfortunately, the corner kicks in the first half have all been from the far side to us, the Cambridge right-hand side, and Agrawal's delivery has been leaving something to be desired. The one free kick from the left, however, did cause trouble for the Oxford keeper. So perhaps maybe worth trying one of the multiple left-footed players to take the corner kicks from the right-hand side would be my initial analysis. Also, Osei Biney and Kennedy, when ball playing, have been fantastic for Cambridge as the ball goes long down the left-hand channel and is shepherded out for a goal kick. Yeah, I really think that into the second half, Osei Biney and Kennedy are the two star men for Cambridge. Every time they've had time to get on the ball and get their head up and play it into the channel or for the winger or for the dangerous Danny Sanchez, Cambridge look dangerous.
Thanks, Matt. Osei Biney and Kennedy, two first years, two freshers. Osei Biney, a geographer at Downing, and Kennedy, a economist at Girton. And they're both showing why they're in this team, as Khan tries to run after it, but a really competent bit of goalkeeping there from Liam Matthews. He ran out of his goal. He was sharp, he was quick, and he got there before Khan could latch onto it. But that would have been a goal otherwise. So Kennedy does really, really well there for Cambridge and saves their bacon a little bit there, as Cambridge have the decision from the referee, who is a tall referee, actually. He stands, I think, taller than every other player on the pitch. So no problem asserting his authority here, as Cambridge have a free kick going to be taken by Asaley just inside the Oxford half here by the touchline on the far side. Oxford City Football Club adorns the stand just behind him, as he's going to try and get it into the penalty area here from just inside the half. It's not quite the delivery he would have wanted, and Oxford can try and deal with it, but they don't deal with it well enough, as Sanchez can turn, and it's going to be a decision. Not sure. There wasn't a huge amount of contact there. It might have been a handball. Max is signaling to me here in the press box, as the goalkeeper for Oxford is going to try and get it clear. Cambridge, I think, have had most of the possession, but Oxford are going to go into halftime with the lead if it stays this way for another 2 minutes, as it's going to be competed there for Avavor, who can hoof it long and out of play. A little bit about McAvoy. Avavor, the number 15 right back, also a fresher, an engineer at Robinson, and he's played very well here on this right-hand side, cutting out any sort of danger. The two strikers, though, looking to try and get a bit more possession than the defenders. Cambridge get the decision here. Good run there by Agrawal. Yes, he gets into the Oxford half, and then just after the centre circle, makes some progress and goes down under the challenge of the Oxford man and wins himself a free kick, which he's going to take. Looks windy out there. We're sheltered from the wind here inside the press box. The wind against Cambridge, so hopefully they can take advantage of it in the second half. Agrawal shouting some kind of instructions to his players inside the box. He's the right footer. He's going to try and whip it in to the box. It's going to be Asaley in there. It's going to be Osei Biney who tries to win the head, but it's won instead by the Oxford 14, as it's shepherded out of play by Danny Sanchez, who's going to try and take the throw himself, the striker for Cambridge. The first year as well, the engineer at Cats. Quite a lot of first years, actually, with their first appearances in a varsity match. A multi-year team here, certainly, for Cambridge, as the ref signals half-time, blows his whistle, and we go into the half. Oxford 1, Cambridge 0. And just before we take a little break here inside the press box, Matt, what are your thoughts in that first half? Cambridge go in without the lead. They're trailing 1-0 to their Oxford counterparts, but they have some positives to take into the second half. Matt Griffiths.
Certainly Cambridge are not out of this game, and they should definitely take multiple positives from that half as they walk across the pitch into the tunnel. Plenty for the two coaches, Ryan Hoffman and Nick Gallagher, to think about. However, I don't think they'll be immediately ringing the changes, as we kept mentioning. Cambridge have had the ball, they've had the territory, they just have not had the end product. There's been a couple of good times, a couple of good sequences of play down this left-hand side where we resulted in Paul Houston either being caught offside or when the goal was, of course, disallowed for the free kick the ref had already blown. It seems like I believe Paddy Mortimer of the Cambridge University First 11 is having a word with the referee. The ref's not happy, and he's just explaining why that goal was disallowed. Other than that, it's been a very even half of football. I've enjoyed watching it. It's been engrossing, absorbing. And I think the key to this game and the key to who's going to win this game is going to be whichever team plays the ball on the floor most will likely win the game. The Oxford goal came from neat work from their left-hand side, good passing from the halfway line into the left winger, the number 69, that joker. He played in a decent ball. It just bounces in front of the 6-yard box, and Kestrels, who the Oxford 21, who's playing for their central midfielder, who I think probably has been the best player on the pitch. He's looked very good. His energy's been excellent. He burst forward from midfield into the Cambridge box and lifted it over Liam Matthews with a serious composure. So if Cambridge get a moment of quality like that, they'll be back in this game for sure. And what we've seen is that they're not lacking in technical young players. All the Cambridge University supporters are here, and they're coming to have a look at us in the press box. The Falcons team look excited for their game later. Please, if you're watching this, which I don't know if any of them is, but we're on air all day, and we look forward to bringing you coverage of not just the Falcons but the Eagles game as well, the women's twos. Over to you, Josh.
Thanks, Matt, as we might try and get some halftime interviews for you. If we can try and get a couple of the players in just to talk about their thoughts on the game, I send Matt on that mission. Cambridge, as Matt said, playing some good football in that game. They actually will be disappointed to go into that game not having equalised, because they did have the ball in the net, and we all thought it was a fantastic finish by Houston there, by Paul Houston, the number 17, the MPhil finance student at Queen's, a recent addition to the squad, and he showed why he's there. He's had that chance outside the penalty area, lobbing Nani-esque into the bottom corner, but unfortunately the referee had already blown for a free kick, and that was a really disappointing moment for Cambridge. However, Oxford, I would say, despite having less possession, doing very, very well indeed and competently defending. They have had their moments in attack, and if it weren't for a sharp run and alertness of the Oxford goalkeeper, of the Cambridge goalkeeper, Liam Matthews, it would have been a goal. So let's just talk about a few of the players that we might not have mentioned so far. We've talked about almost everyone. There's Avavor, of course, the engineering Robinson student, first year. Asali is the third-year student at Homerton, one of the few third-year students, an engineer as well. Ivy, as I mentioned, the third-year left-back and captain for Claire, the historian. And Marcus Hicks, the other centre-back, Corpus zoology student in third year. So we're going to take a little short break here just to catch our breath before the second half gets underway, and we'll be back with any interviews that Matt gets within the next 5 or 10 minutes. Well, we are back here and we are live, and we a bit of a beer spillage already in the press box. No worries at all. And we've got an interview here, Matt. If you want to get us started.
Yeah, I'm joined. If we're George Pugh, we're joined by Blues right back Sonny McPherson. Sonny, you played in the Falcons varsity last year, and what have you made of the Kestrels game so far?
Well, I thought we'd been on top. Very, very unlucky to go behind. Had a few chances. Wrongly disallowed goal. I think second half, it's all the Kestrels. 5-1 prediction, I think.
5-1 prediction. Certainly, when we've had the ball on the ground, we've looked a lot better. What do you think Hoffman's going to be telling his boys? You know, that we've been lumping it long a lot, dispossession. It seems that as soon as they get into the midfield maestro of Saibani, mate, what a baller. As soon as the ball gets into him, he turns and looks up. We get penetration.
I think, yeah, he's going to be telling them to move it quicker, keep the ball on the floor. It's going to be liquid football second half.
Speaking of liquid, do you think that the atmosphere will pick up as the day goes on, as a few golden ales are consumed?
I certainly hope so.
Thank you, Sonny. Cheers, mate.
Well, thanks, Sonny, and thank you, Matt, for that. And we'll be taking a short break now, and we'll be back for the restart of the second half in 10 minutes or so. So keep on the line, and we'll be back again for the second half. Welcome back, everyone. The players are back out on the pitch, waiting for the game to restart as the substitutes just head towards the subs bench. The tunnel is to our left, just by the corner flag here on the near side. And the players have to walk all the way across the AstroTurf pitch to the Oxford City dugout there on the far side. Cambridge taking their places. The subs do have Blues jackets, which are the exact same colour as the Blues shirts, which is presumably a little bit confusing for the players on the pitch. But no matter, as the game is about to restart, and Matt, your thoughts before this game, an Oxford City sub has just thrown his water against the bench in anger, perhaps they're not being brought on. But as we're about to restart, and Oxford have the restart, Matt, predictions?
I think we could be looking at another tight half. If Cambridge get the ball on the ground, I really think that they could score and the floodgates may open. If not, it's going to be a cagey half of affairs. And I can't see Cambridge losing the game, but I do think we could be in for a nervy penalty shootout.
Man, I can't lie, I would love a penalty shootout, although, of course, we want to see Cambridge prevail within the 90 minutes, ideally. If it does finish as a draw within the 90 minutes, it will go straight to penalties. So we have that to look forward to potentially, but of course, not necessarily going to happen, hopefully. We just got the program at halftime, so we're trying to familiarize ourselves as the players just warm up with the ball before the referee comes out with some of the players. There's been a substitution for Oxford. Matt, you have the info.
Yeah, so the Oxford left winger, which was previously, I believe, Jack Antoni, has been swapped for Rai Atake. So the fourth year from New College is coming on for the second half. He's sporting some very comical Jack Grealish low socks with some serious calf definition on show. That must be for the spectators, and I'm sure he gets ample chat from his teammates for that. But yes, Oxford are about to take kickoff, and they will be kicking from right to left. Cambridge, the other direction. Cambridge now with the wind behind them rather than against them, as was the case in the last half. But hopefully, we'll see some liquid football, as Sonny told us at half time. And we should be in for a fantastic half of football.
Well, the referee checks if everyone's ready to restart, and Cambridge now raring to go, trying to get on the score sheet as soon as possible to get that game back to 1-1. As Matt says, hopefully Cambridge can keep the ball on the ground here. We've got the same starting 11, I believe, as we had who started the first half. Cambridge just waiting for Oxford to take the restart. The referee waiting for something. Having a conversation with the linesman there on the far side. I think that substitution actually is trying to be made again, because I think that's Rai Atake there on the far side, having a conversation with the linesman as we have a slight delay to the start of the second half. But as Matt says, Rai Atake is going to be coming on. He's got some kind of issue with his ear, I believe, at the moment. Cambridge, I have to say, making all the noise at the moment, and they are to our right, the majority of them banging on the advertising hoardings. The Vanarama advertising hoarding, the most prominent among them, of course, Oxford City in the Vanarama National League. Cambridge getting ready. The supporters are ready, and Oxford are also ready as Oxford University Colts take the kickoff and try and hit it long immediately, but Ralph Ivy is there, standing in the path of Castellanos. Castellanos does really well, though, but it's only as far as Sunuar. Oxford have it again with the captain, Cesar. Here's Castellanos turning really nicely and actually forcing the foul out of Kennedy just inside the Cambridge half. Good start from Oxford. Cesar again, asserting his dominance in this game, which he has done for quite a while, Cesar, the Oxford left back on top form and the captain. Out wide to Atake with his first touch since coming on. The fresh legs. And win the throw here. And it's going to be Estevez to take it. And is he a substitution? I don't remember him in the first half. Estevez might have come on as well. Here's Kennedy now in the midfield. And kicked long there in the end by Agrawal. And it can't quite be cleared away by McCleary. So it's going to be a throw in here on this near side for Danny Sanchez, who's going to give it back to Avavor Mukfal Abavor, who's going to take it, the first year engineer, on this near side, throws it out to Houston, who can take it down. The man, of course, who had the disallowed goal, in that first half, as Oxford have the ball again with Oscar. Hoofed long, Ivy can head it, but it's not the best header in the world. And once again, Matthews off his line to save Ivy's skin there. Matthews really fast off his line, does really, really well. Ivy tried to head it back to the goalkeeper, but it wasn't quite far enough. But in the end, they do enough to shepherd it out of play for an Oxford throw. It's Cesar here on this right-hand side. Intercepted, and he wins the throw again. It's going to be Cesar to take on this far side. Fast-paced start here from Oxford. Cambridge just trying to settle into the second half. Sunawar does really, really well here. Houston can try and play it forward, but again, it's to no avail as it goes all the way out to McCleary here, the Oxford centre-back. In the end, Cesar has a nice little combination and gets it back here on this right-hand side, trying to play it out nicely from the back. Cesar has it again. McCleary can try and kick it long. Ivy can just get it up and under, trying to pick out Sunawar, but it's only as far as the Oxford man, who can now come forward with Castellanos here. He can try and play a beautiful ball out wide all the way here to Atake, but Atake in the end just can't quite attack it as he would have wanted, and Matthews can pick up the ball. Dodgy start though, and it's Asali who loses possession in a dangerous area, but Ivy comes in clutch and makes the tackle to get it back to Matthews, and Ivy receives it back on this left-hand side in the left-back position for Cambridge. Cambridge looking a little bit nervy in defence. His Sunawar on the left-hand side attacking now for Cambridge. Can try and drive into the Oxford half, which he does. And fortuitously, it falls for Houston here on this left-hand side. He can try and look for Agraval in the box. Plays the ball. It's just a little bit too long, and the Oxford keeper can claim it nicely. Here comes Atake on the left-hand side for Oxford. Tackled nicely here by Sanchez. Agraval there trying to get it clear, but it's crowded out here by Estevez. Cleared away by Avavor. Cambridge can only get it clear, really, at the moment. Nothing more than that, unfortunately. As Oxford come through with Lions, but it's taken by Osei Bini, and it comes all the way back to the Cambridge goalkeeper. Cambridge now passing it out to the right-hand side with Avavor now, who does really, really well to get it out to Agravor and wins the throw. And it's going to be Avavor to take the throw on their side, right by the press box here. We get almost within touching distance of Avavor if it weren't for the glass in front of us. Asali can pass it out now to the centre-back position here with Hicks, who can play it out nicely to Sunawar on the left-hand side. That was a good pass. And now he can get it to Ivy, who now, if you can use his pace and his passing, he goes backwards, though. Not quite what they needed. Kennedy in the deep line midfield role at the moment can play it back to Asali in the centre-back position, who can play it in defence to Hicks, who can play it out wide all the way to Houston, who can try and get it to Ivy. It's a bit too far, but Sunawar can get there. He's going to keep it in play nicely. Can he win a corner here? No, but he can win a throw-in at least. And I think that is good enough at the moment for Cambridge. Cambridge have the ball on this far side with Ralph Ivy. He does very well indeed. Ivy can play it out nicely. And it's dispossessed. Oxford have it on this right-hand side. Here they come, Oxford, with Castellanos, but it's tackled competently and very well indeed by Kennedy. You can win it back again and actually wins a free kick, but the referee plays advantage successfully this time for a change. And here come Sanchez. Here's Houston into the penalty area for Cambridge. Oh, it's just wide. What a chance for Houston. It was brilliant combination between the two strikers. Sanchez played it out to Houston, who made the overlapping run within the Oxford penalty area, just outside the 6-yard box, but he drags it wide in the end. What a chance for Cambridge, Matt Griffiths.
An unbelievable passage to play for Cambridge there. Fantastic work from Kennedy to win the ball back, not once, but twice. He was indeed fouled, and the ref played a fantastic advantage there to allow the attack to develop. Danny Sanchez got the ball, turned his man, slipped in Paul Houston, who was bombing on his left, came past his left shoulder, flying, in fact, into the Oxford box. He's a left footer, and he took the shot first time on his left-hand side, and unfortunately just dragged it wide of the post. That's a big chance. While we're discussing this, there's been a substitution for Oxford. Who's gone off there? The Oxford left back, Estevez, who he was starting, who's come off. Number 3 has come on, who is, I believe, to be who is he?
I think it's Jones.
Oh, is it Jones? Yes, number 3 Jones there coming on. But yes, Cambridge have the ball again with Kennedy. Cambridge starting brightly this second half. I'm going to pass over to Josh as Danny Sanchez gets the ball in the left channel area. Ball in by Kennedy.
Ball in by Kennedy. Cambridge have it here, and it's just cleared away by Oxford in the end. They do really well indeed, but at the moment, Cambridge have the upper hand after Oxford had a faster start. Cambridge now have Ivy on the throw in here on this far side by the corner flag. Can get it to Sunawar in the corner flag position. Ivy has it again. He's just can hook it up though. Sunawar can't quite win the header, and it falls for the Oxford man in the end. Here's Osei Binney in the midfield. Really good pass. Here's Sanchez, can turn nicely, can try and look for the shot. He shoots from outside the penalty area, but it's blocked well, and it goes all the way through to the number one in the bright yellow shirt, the Oxford goalkeeper. Cambridge, though, banging against the advertising hoardings relentlessly. They are approving of this Cambridge start to the second half, doing very well indeed, as Oxford come forward really nicely there from Lions, but it's cleared away. And Agrawal can get it into Osei Binney in a dangerous position here for Cambridge. Outside the penalty area, plays in Sanchez. Has he got the pace? He has. He had the opportunity maybe to go down there under the tackle of the goalkeeper, but in the end, he just runs it out of play for a goal kick, but a really good through ball in the end there, actually, from Oxford. From Cambridge, and Sanchez just can't quite latch onto it. But Houston and Sanchez now really combining well up front.
Yeah, the Cambridge attacking duo found their chemistry and are making delightful runs off each other, it has to be said. Another neat bit of interplay with Aaron Agrawal doing well and winning the ball back for Osei Binney to slip in Danny Sanchez. The pass was just a little bit heavy, and it meant that his first touch, as he took it away from the goalkeeper and jumped clear, his touch was heavy and he could not keep it in play. I'll just commentate quickly as the ball comes over the top, and Khan on the Oxford right wing is jostling with Paul Ivy, and Ivy does well to nudge it out for a throw-in to the Oxford.
Sorry about that, Matt. Yeah, the garden party or Mayball tickets are difficult to get hold of, so just came out a few minutes ago, so managed to latch onto one of those, as Oxford managed to latch on here on this far side, but in the end it runs out of play, and Cambridge have the goal kick here as we are 10 minutes in to this second half between the Cambridge Kestrels, the men's thirds, and the Oxford Colts. Their counterparts. Here's Asali, can get it out to Kennedy in the midfield, but it's back just outside the Cambridge penalty area, playing it about for the back nicely. Asali to Kennedy in this deep-lying defensive role. Here's Avavor on the right-hand side. Can try to play it forward to Sanchez, who's really grown into the second half, as I'll say Binney does really well, and just a bit too hard of a pass there to Agrawal, a bit too firm, and he's offside anyway. And the linesman gives the decision. It's going to be Jones with the bald head for Oxford, the distinctive figure of Jones, who's come on. He looks like he must be a PhD student, I would have thought. But the linesman's waved over the referee, who's going to run over. Something has occurred. I'm going to try and tell what's happening. He's pointing out some kind of abuse, perhaps, from an Oxford man. This is the same Oxford substitute that I picked out just before half-time, where he threw aggressively his water bottle against the seats. And I think there's been some kind of abuse. So the referee, we don't want to see this at all, do we, Matt? The referee walking over to him, he's going to have a word. I don't know if this is a coach or a player, but it's someone who is getting a little bit too argumentative, a little bit too aggressive, a little bit too hot-headed. The referee's had a word with him, and he's simply just stood back up. So I don't think that's been a yellow card or a warning or a sending off or anything. Just a verbal warning from the referee. But that really is actually quite bizarre and quite disappointing to see in what is only a varsity match at the end of the day. As Cambridge have the ball in the centre-back, as Oxford have the ball, the dark blues, in the centre-back position, attacking from right to left in their all dark blue kit. And really nice sliced ball there all the way through to Atake, but it's cleared out nicely by Avavor. But that was a really, really nice ball. Hodgson's, was it? Who was it? Hodgkiss, who had a kind of like a nice sidewinder there to play it through all the way. And now Jones has the throw in on the far side, as I'm straining my neck to try and see Castellanos with the ball here by the corner flag. And the decision goes Oxford's way. It's going to be a corner kick to Oxford, as all the big men come forward. McCleary comes forward from the centre-back position, trying to make a run from the edge of the box here to get his head on it and hopefully double Oxford's lead. But Cambridge hoping to defend this corner, as the goalie, Liam Matthews, stands up ready for this corner. As it comes all the way, and it goes actually all the way to McCleary, but he can't quite get a head on it, as Ivy used his pace to get there, but is out-muscled in the end by the Oxford man. But here comes Sunawar here for Cambridge. He can kick it clear all the way to Danny Sanchez, who can turn nicely, uses his body really cleverly, and doesn't quite have the pace, unfortunately, to run and attack the Oxford goal. But Euston is challenging for the ball here by the Oxford penalty area, but Oxford can calmly get it clear as McCleary has it. The big man for Oxford in the centre-back position comes outside the penalty area now, looking for some progression here. Here's Atake running into the Cambridge half, can play a through ball here, aiming for Hodgkiss. Can't quite get there. Here's Osei Binney, though, for Cambridge. Kennedy now has it and gives it to Sanchez, who turns brilliantly. Euston does well, but he can't quite get the ball out of his feet in time, and it's blocked well. Khan gets the ball, but it's going to be called back for some kind of decision. It's going to be a Cambridge free kick, actually, that they've won here. Some kind of infringement from Oxford. A handball when he was blocking the ball. And it's going to be just a couple yards in front of the centre circle, and it's going to be taken here by Agrawal for Cambridge. It's going to be a free kick here, and it's going to be Agrawal to take. He stands again in the Ronaldo position as if he's going to have a go, and I think he should have a go. The Oxford goalkeeper hasn't been tested enough, I don't think, so far in this game. He does go for goal. It's a high one, and I actually thought that was in, but it's just wide of the top corner there. Goalie looked beaten, and Agrawal showing why he's on those free kicks here, Matt.
Yeah, absolutely. As in, it seemed a speculative effort, to quote Pro Evolution Soccer 2004. But the Oxford goalkeeper really was not keen to move to his right there. Seemed a bit sort of heavy-footed, and if that ball was about a foot further right, the keeper was not going to get there. The game has once again opened up and has become a bit scrappy in the opening exchanges of this first half. Again, lacking in quality. Cambridge have sent their substitutes to warm up on the far side, as there's a throw in here to Oxford, which is going to be taken by the substitute left back Jones with his bald head.
Thank you, Matt. Well, it's actually Sonny McPherson, the Blues player for Cambridge at halftime, told us that he was expecting Cambridge to come out firing in the second half. It's been more of an even game, perhaps, than he was expecting, but Cambridge do look the more likely to score as Sunawar turns nicely and gives it to Ivy on the overlap on this left-hand side. I want to see more overlapping from Ivy here. Sanchez can bring the ball into the penalty area, but Oxford can get it away and actually win the goal kick off the block from Ivy, but that's better from Cambridge here on this left-hand side. Sunawar and Ivy combining nicely. The captain, Ivy, and Sunawar, of course, who has been the most mentioned player probably for Cambridge, has done very, very well on this left-hand side and when he cuts inside into the midfield. Kennedy perhaps lying a little bit deep at the moment, but only 15 minutes gone as Castellanos can take it down nicely. He's really impressive, Castellanos, isn't he? Doing really well indeed. And Ivy can take this free kick on the far side by the halfway line, attacking from left to right. Euston can take it down, but he's dispossessed instantly by Lyons. Lyons' hold-up play is really, really good. And is going to come back to Kennedy. And Lyons has it again, though, for Oxford. And turnover of possession is very, very quick as Lyons wins the throw. And it's going to be taken here by Cesar, who's calling for a substitution to be made. And I'm not sure, because it looks from this like Cesar is making the substitutions himself. It looks like he's making the decision. So I'm not actually sure if the coach is here today or what the system is. Because, of course, Cambridge have two coaches, both dressed up in their Blues jackets. So it looks like Cesar is the manager at the moment, the player manager, which is very impressive, I think, actually. Cesar, it's going to be the number 10 coming off. Hodgkiss is going to come off for Oxford. And coming on, we're about to see his name and number if he turns around. Gives a little clap to Spur on his teammates. He's the number 6 for Oxford. That's all the information we have for now. Here's Khan on this right-hand side. All I can tell you is that it has 4 letters in it, the name. So if, Matt, you can get on that and try and find it to the best of your ability in the matchday program. That's the information we've been supplied with today from the Oxford end. As Asali Asali does really well. He's under pressure there, but just outside his penalty area, very calm to just turn away from the... It's Smith who has come on for Oxford. There are 2 16. Is Smith 16? Is he 6? He's a number with 6 in it. And here is the number 8 Lions, but he gives away the foul. He is 16. So unprofessionally, I would say, Matt.
I would say so.
Oxford in the varsity match have 2 number 16s. Someone didn't do their double checking and editing when the shirts went to press.
if we just after these Oxford substitutes, their lineup has changed somewhat. Jones, who came on at left back, has moved to centre back, and I believe Powell has stepped up into the central defensive midfield position as the ball cut swung in, headed away. Oh, Kennedy ducks that header, and Mac plays a long ball over the top for Khan to chase, but Paul Ivy wins a confident header, and Cambridge have the ball in the middle of the park.
Thank you, Matt. Ralph Ivy's headed the ball, as we said, numerous times already, as Abavor tries to get it away, but can't quite manage it. But he wins the throw in here, or does he? I think he might have sliced it, actually. So it's going to be a throw from one of the number 16, Smith, who throws it, and the referee blows for something. No, Cambridge can get it clear. And Sanchez does really well. Houston and Sanchez combining well again. Sanchez just plays it behind Sunawal, though, inside the Cambridge half. He can bring it into the Oxford half, though. Ivy running on the overlap, but it's as far as Houston here by the corner flag here for Cambridge on the far side. Can get the ball into the box nicely. It's going to be Sanchez. Can't quite get contact on it. That looks like it might be a corner, but the decision goes Oxford's way. Sanchez not too happy with the referee there, giving the decision to Oxford for the goal kick, but that was better. A better ball into the box there from Houston, who's making himself very useful on the left-hand side. And you've now got Sunawar, Ivy, and Houston on this left-hand side doing really, really well and combining nicely. So they have got the overload on this left-hand side every time they get it there, which is to their advantage. As Oxford aim to get it away as they kick it long upfield. Oxford look more content to do that in this second half. Ivy... No, that was actually Hicks, I believe, who can only get it as far as a throw-in for Oxford outside the penalty area, just on the edge, on the far side as we look at the pitch. Oxford attacking from right to left as we look from the press box. A few fans in front of us here. And it's claimed here by the Cambridge goalkeeper. Most fans for Cambridge are on our right-hand side behind the goal as we look at the pitch. That's a good ball. And Agravar can use his pace here. He's going to go for the first time ball. Beautiful ball across. Is it going to make it all the way? It's only as far as Cesar, though, who can cut it out nicely. But that was a really good effort from Agravar, running onto it and then playing it across. Cambridge still have the ball with Sanchez, but he's dispossessed in the end by Oxford. And they come away, and the Oxford fans on the other side of the pitch, behind the goal that Oxford are attacking, are happy with that one. Here we are, sheltered by the wind inside the press box, but it looks windy out there as Oxford can get it all the way to Khan. Can they? No, Hicks can do very well indeed to kick the ball out of play and out of the stadium and off the bus there. So I'm not sure how happy the bus driver will be with that, but it looks like it's going to be a corner, something. He's speaking to Danny Sanchez. He's writing his name in the book, and I think that can, Ivy running out as captains do to try and have a word with the referee to try and find out exactly what is at issue here. I think Sanchez has talked himself into a yellow card, I believe, Matt.
I don't think it's talking, as in just at this before that ball over the top where Hicks did well to clear it. Sanchez was actually the Cambridge player dispossessed, and he went down under the challenge, and I believe that somebody stood on his foot as he was hobbling around with his ankle, and he called the ref to say, "I'm in pain," and I think the ref's either given that for simulation or dissent. There's a couple of options. Oh, and as the corner was taken in there by the left-footed Oxford player in swinging towards Lee Matthews' goal, the wind carried it, but rather than dangerously floating it into the far post, it took it out for a goal kick. Matthews has the goal kick now, and it's into the Cambridge right centre-back, Max Ellis.
Thank you, Matt. Yeah, we'll try and get some clarification for you on that yellow card. Not exactly sure what it was, but based on the aggravation that he was displaying verbally, arguing with the referee, I think it might have been for dissent. As Oxford attack here, Cambridge need to kind of turn up a gear a little bit here. I'm getting a little bit worried. 21 minutes played, and the score is still Oxford 1, Cambridge 0. We're live from the Oxford City Velocity Stadium here in Oxford. As Cambridge have the ball here on the near side, doing really well, Oxford, to hold on to this 1-0 lead. As there's a little bit of a break in play. The linesman again having a word with the Oxford bench. Might be a substitution here. So they are using full range of their substitutions. Off comes Lyons, the number 8. And on comes Jamie Kwan, otherwise known as Jay Kwan, apparently, according to the program. That's an interesting fact. And here he comes on now. Maybe playing in centre midfield, I think we should expect, given that the centre midfielder Lyons did come off just now. Headed out, though, by Asali for Cambridge after the throw-in. Jones heads it back, and it's going to be cleared away now by Osei Binney. who can kick it all the way to Euston, but it's only as far as McCleary, who can then try and kick it long, but it's only as far as Sanchez here outside the Oxford penalty area. He goes down under the challenge. I don't think he should be diving here with a yellow card, but he claims that it was an actual foul. Osei Bainey tries to tackle Smith, but does really well with the ball. Doing well indeed at the moment. Here is the Cambridge goalkeeper now. Does really well so far. Here comes Jaquan in the central midfield position. And that should be a foul, and it is a foul. And it's Kennedy who makes the foul, and Cambridge hearts will be in their mouths, I think, a little bit as the game progresses. But at the moment, I think it's okay. We've had 20... Oh, there's going to be a substitution here after 25 minutes. Kennedy's gone into the book for that foul. I'm not actually sure he merited a yellow card for that. It was one of his first fouls. And we're going to have a substitution here. And it's going to be, I believe, who has come off here for Cambridge? I'm trying to look who isn't on the pitch. It's going to be Aaron Agrawal and Marcus Hicks coming off for the double change. And they are to be replaced by Damien Molyneux and Hardy. So is that going to be a straight swap? It looks like two straight swaps. Hardy is going to instantly try to make an effort. Instantly, I think if he wasn't just subbed on, he would have gone into the book for that, because that was not a very good tackle. Instantly trying to make his impact, perhaps a little bit too eager. Hardy, Sam Hardy, the number 10, he is a first-year land economist at Lucy Cavendish. And the other player that we've just seen the introduction of is, where is he here? He's somewhere along this list. And it's Damien Molyneux, who's a second-year centre-back, number 6 lawyer at Peterhouse, and he's the Cambridge University Association Football Club social media officer. We also heard he ran for Law Society president and lost. Hopefully he won't be losing today, though, and they need a goal, though. If that's not to be the case, it's Smith for Oxford, the number 16, one of them, to take a throw in here on this near side, just in front of us outside the press box, as he throws the ball long, and it comes all the way actually successfully to Khan here on this left-hand side, as I straighten my head and peer around the corner to try and see what the events are just by the corner flag here on this near side, as Oxford attack from right to left. They're at the corner flag for Cambridge. The throw-in is going to be taken here by Powell, the left-back for Oxford, but it's not a good... Oh, interesting. I think that might have been handball. Well, Kennedy puts his shirt over his eyes as if to say that the referee is not giving anything Cambridge's way, and they certainly do feel aggrieved, Cambridge. They've got a free kick in a very promising position just outside the penalty area here for Oxford. Here walks Khan up to the ball. The referee signals where to place it. It is literally could not be closer to the penalty area. It is just on the line here, and Khan, from a very tight angle, I would say about 4 or 5 yards from the touchline, is going to go for goal, but it's blocked successfully by Osei Bainey and Avavor in the wall, and it's going to be a goal kick for... Oh, sorry, no, a corner. My bad, it was going to be a corner. It was blocked by the Cambridge wall, and it's going to be an Oxford corner as Oxford look to slow the game down and try and get some kind of daylight between the two sides. But I have to say, if anyone scored here, it would be against the run of play, because no one looks like scoring at the moment, as it's hoofed from the corner all the way out of play for a throw-in for Cambridge, which is going to be taken by Max Asali, who gives it actually to Ivy, who's going to take this free kick. And it looks like Cesar has actually substituted himself, which is interesting, because he was actually a very good player in the first half, but he's taken his leave from this game as Avavor gets it on the right-hand side from Osei Bainey. And that's a very strong tackle, but the referee isn't liking a lot of strong tackles here. Oxford serve. Oh, no, it's a throw-in, actually, so he liked it. Atake with that tackle, and he gets the ball back now. Atake. Hardy can't quite assert himself on the game, but he wins it well. Here's Osei Bainey now, can turn away from Powell, as Max Staley has it in the centre-back position, can play a lovely switch to Ralph Ivy on the left-hand side. He can get the ball out of his feet successfully. And now Kennedy can get it to Agrawal here on this left-hand side, just inside the Cambridge half. Sunawar, sorry, Agrawal's come off. I'm confusing the right and left wingers yet again. Here comes the centre-back, Max Asali. Osei Bini can play it now out to Avavor. Avavor can try and make some progression. I'm reflecting in my voice the confidence and the pride of the Cambridge support who are raring to go here. They're supporting their team. They're trying to inspire Cambridge into some kind of lead here as Agrawal wins the throw. Sunuwa wins the throw. Over here on this left-hand side. So, am I right in saying that Sunuwa, he came off and that they've swapped wings here? Was Sunuwa playing on the left wing in the first half? So my confusion here is that Sunuwa is still playing, but they've changed sides. So anyway. Here they come now. Here's Jones. Here's Atake now. Can try and play it forward. Here's Hardy here on this right-hand side. Can play it now to Houston. Here's Hardy again, just outside the penalty area. Can't quite get it. Here's Osei Bini, though, playing it to Kennedy in the midfield position. Really strong tackle there. Not sure if there was a follow-through, but the referee adjudicated that was a fair challenge. Atake offside, just about offside, as Cambridge looked to get it going. Matt, Cambridge had a bit of spell possession, but nothing really attacking the Oxford goal.
The Cambridge player, Cambridge have a little spell of possession there as the game's got getting a little bit scrappy. Cambridge seem a little bit desperate for goals, and also as the substitutes have just come on the pitch, they're going to be nervous and need to sort of calm down, assert themselves, and start playing football. Oxford have made 3 changes, I believe, with their captain taking himself off at right back. Cambridge made a couple of changes. Damien Molyneux coming on at number 6. He thinks the free kick's been taken already, and Sam Hardy coming on at right mid here for Aaron Agrawal. But it's an interesting game as the ball just floats up and hits the top of the stand that we're currently under. It's become a little bit scrappy, a little bit niggly. The referee needs to do well to control this here because I think Cambridge feel aggrieved and feel that the referee is biasing Oxford. I'm not sure that's necessarily true, but he certainly has got a couple of Cambridge players on his radar and they're going to struggle to get decisions from this point on. Here's Molyneux. Oh, it's coming back for a free kick here.
Well, the referee has pulled it back. Thanks, Matt. He's pulled it back for a free kick here. And it's going to be Asali who is going to take this one, the centre-back for Cambridge. He's going to try and get the ball into the box. We've had half an hour played into the second half. 75 minutes gone, and Cambridge still trail 1-0 to the Oxford Colts. The Kestrels desperate for a goal here as it's played by Max Asali, but it's not quite good enough. It can't beat the first man. It's headed out. And is that Molyneux, the number 6? Damien Molyneux, the number 6, passes it out. And here's Sanchez, who does a lovely little dink over the top for Houston to run onto here. And he shoots us in! And Houston with the goal! It's the combination of Danny Sanchez and Houston that we've been seeing building up in this second half, and it's a beautiful through ball as the Cambridge faithful bang on the advertising hoardings, and that goal was so desperately needed here. 15 minutes to play, and it's Cambridge 1, Oxford 1.
Fantastic work from Danny Sanchez and Paul Houston once again. The ball's won back on the Cambridge left side. Molyneux wins a header, plays it into Danny Sanchez. He's got his back to goal, takes a touch on his left foot, turns, scoops the through ball up and over the Oxford defence deftly. His strike partner, Paul Houston, runs through, touches it on his chest and tucks it into the bottom right-hand corner. The Oxford goalkeeper had absolutely no chance. The CUAFC players and supporters are behind the goal that Cambridge are attacking. All of the Falcons and many of the Blues, as well as Blues coach Tom Blatch, were there, and they greeted that goal with wild scenes of celebration. Danny Sanchez even went up to them and got them pumped up further, but Paul Houston wins the ball back straight off the Oxford kickoff and drives forward, tries to play in Sunuwa, but the ball is well tackled by the Oxford right back, and it's out for a corner kick. But that could be the spark that this game needs, as Sam Hardy's gone down holding his face. And I think, Houston's gone down holding his face. And I think he just caught an elbow there as he played the ball through to Sanchez.
Thank you, Matt. Yes, absolutely. Houston missed one chance in the first half that looked really promising, but he wasn't going to miss 2. And that was a really nice finish into the bottom corner. He was on the left-hand side of the penalty area, just outside the 6-yard box. And the goalie could do nothing about it, couldn't close down the angle in time. And the bottom corner was bulging instantly. And it's going to be a corner here on this far side, on the left-hand side for Cambridge. It's going to be taken by Sunuwa, I believe. who's going to deliver the ball into the box all the way in. And oh, it almost finds its way in from looked like a touch actually from Max Asali there at the back post. And the goalie looked almost beaten, but it just crawls the wrong side of the post. And Oxford escape here. Cambridge looked the most likely. I think there's going to be a foul actually that the referee's given. Cambridge looked the most likely to score here to take advantage of this momentum. And what a comeback this would be after looking so flat, actually, both teams in the first 20 minutes of the second half. Suddenly, Cambridge are massively on top. But here come Oxford, and they can threaten. And Smith can come through on the left-hand side, just by the corner flag, and try and get a ball into the box. He does successfully. It's all the way to Khan, but Ivy does really well to win the header there. And Kennedy can get it out of play. This game has just opened up massively in the last 2 minutes. As Houston gets the ball again. Can he play in Sanchez? Can he get the ball out of his feet first? Yes, he does. Gets the ball out to Sunawar out wide, but it's just behind him. And Sunawar's going to have to do well to keep the ball in play, which he does. He gives the ball back to Ivy. Well, Cambridge suddenly have a spark and a spring in their step. As Max Asali has it and can bring it forward here with Hicks. With Molyneux. And Molyneux can pass it out to Ivy on the left-hand side. And he's just blocked off here there. And the referee doesn't give anything. And it's going to be launched long by the centre-back for Cambridge. But again, Molyneux can get it away. Here's Molyneux, very, very calm. Gives it out to Kennedy. Here's Kennedy now. Can play it out. And Osei Binney can't quite get it, but it's fine because Asali has it. Osei Binney now gives it to Sanchez, who can turn well. Danny Sanchez. He's very comfortable with the ball at his feet, isn't he? And he's nearly a beautiful pass to Sunawar, but it's only as far as the Oxford right back. As Oxford come clear, the excitement is rising in this stadium. As we've had 35 minutes played of the second half, 10 to go. This game is flying by, and it's going to be anyone's game here in the last 10 minutes. We have a very grand finale to bring you here on the YouTube live stream, courtesy of Cam FM here at the Oxford City Velocity Stadium. It's Cambridge 1, Oxford 1. Cambridge Kestrels on top, though, but Oxford look like they can unleash Khan and Atake at any minute at their choosing. Ivy takes the throw in here on the far side inside the Cambridge half. Can try and bring it out here now with Kennedy, who's trying to make progress, but they're stuck in their own half for now, Asali. Asali going to try and launch it long, and it's not good enough. I don't know why they're trying the long ball. They seem a little bit too keen to get the ball forward instantly. Just take your time, Cambridge. Take your time with the ball on the ground, and they'll have more success, as they did with that goal, with that beautiful, beautiful chipped ball from Sanchez. Not sure if that was a handball, to be honest, from Hardy, but it just bounces off his arm. Matt, I'm going to come to you when we have a bit of respite, but at the moment it is fast and furious. Here's Oxford here inside their own half. Tries to play it out, but is forced to turn back by Houston, who's pressing really, really well. Hasn't given up all game, the chase here, Houston, the Cambridge striker and MPhil student. And that ball goes out for a Cambridge throw from a loose pass. Here's Ivy, who can take the throw in here on the far side. Gives it here back and launched forward by Molyneux. Can't quite make contact on it. Headed away, and Sunawar is beaten there by the Oxford right back, who can do very well indeed to get it out to Jay Kwan. Here's Castellanos. We haven't spoken too much about him, and that's in the second half, and that's well done to Cambridge for keeping him at bay. But Oxford have it now. And the referee blows, despite the advantage that could have been given. And Oxford have a free kick inside the Cambridge half. His Khan on the right-hand side can turn really nicely. Can get past one. Ivy doesn't quite recover, but Kennedy can, and that's going to be a foul. And the linesman signals it's going to be a free kick to Cambridge. And now we finally have time to hear the thoughts of Matt Griffiths.
Well, that goal has indeed opened this game right up. It's been ever since the goal has happened, it's been frantic. If any team strings together 3 or 4 passes, it looks like they could be in. Both teams, they've just lacked that final bit of quality in the final third. Both the forward players of both teams starting to flag, but still trying to press hard. Cambridge just building possession nicely in their own half. And here's Avavor on the right-hand side, but he's tackled by Atake. And I'm going to hand it back over to Josh, as this game is just too fast.
Thank you, Matt. We'll come back to you as often as we can, as Avavor does really well to get Boss Powell on the right-hand side as he approaches the Oxford penalty area. He's into the box now. Can play it out all the way, but it's just in front of Houston. He couldn't get there on time. And Houston was so close to having a really good shot away, but he couldn't quite latch onto the ball. Avavor using some really good skill there to get past, and the movement of Avavor really, really good, and using his pace as well to get all the way to the Cambridge penalty area, the Oxford penalty area from his own half. And the ball now comes out, and Houston wins it from a mistake from the Cambridge centre-back. And he can play it now to Sanchez, who can't quite get there, and Jones can get it clear to Attacker here on this left-hand side. Oxford now can come. And now Khan can come out on this left-hand side, and it's tackled nicely by Aseli. Aseli does very well indeed, gets it clear. Here's Hardy, and he goes down under the pressure of Smith, and Cambridge actually have a free kick here, as Cambridge have it on this right-hand side. Here is Aseli. He's going to take it here. Now, Cambridge can relax a little bit more because they have had a goal, and it's 1-1 here in the Oxford City Stadium, but we've had 37 minutes of this game as Oxford try and play a direct ball forward, but it goes all the way back to Liam Matthews, the Homertonian in the Cambridge goal. We only have 7 minutes to play, and we're heading for a penalty shootout as it stands, man, and that is going to be extremely tense for everyone, including us here in the press box. I don't necessarily want to see that, but Cambridge will have to get a goal if they are to avoid it. This is the varsity drama that we were hoping to bring you here on Cam FM on the YouTube live stream. Make sure you stay with us throughout today. We're going to be on camfm.co.uk on the Listen Live feature, on the radio as well, 97.2 FM if you're in Cambridge, for the rest of the day for the women and the men's twos. As attacks down the left-hand side, but it's really, really well done there from Avavor on the left-hand on the right-hand side for Cambridge, Oxford's left, and he ends up getting it out of play for a throw-in. Well, keep looking at the clock nervously. We have nearly 40 minutes played. It's Cambridge 1, Oxford 1 in the first of the 3 varsity matches. In the match programme, Ralph Ivey, the Cambridge captain, perhaps overconfidently said that he expected a Cambridge win. And at the moment, it's Oxford attacking and into the penalty area. Here's Castellanos. He can have a go, but the shot isn't good enough, and it goes straight into the arms of the Oxford goalkeeper, Liam Matthews. If he'd had a better shot, I have to say that would have been 2-1 to Oxford and put Cambridge right under the cosh. But here comes Sunawa on the left-hand side. He can try and play it forward to Houston. It might just be a tad too much for him, and it is, and it goes out of play for an Oxford throw. But that's for an Oxford goal kick, and that demonstrates the efficiency of the passing of Cambridge. If they can just get it down that left-hand side with the overload with Ivy, Sunawa, and then Houston on that left-hand side, coming out from the attacking position, out wide to try and claim those through balls from Sunawa, then Cambridge will have a chance. But Oxford there with a really, really good chance, actually. The more I think about it, the more I think it should have been a goal from Castellanos. He was just outside the 6-yard box, and in the end, straight down the throat of the Cambridge goalkeeper. Matt, were you nervous there?
I have to say that I was. Good work again from Khan, who's now playing as the central figure of the Oxford has switched to almost a 4-3-3 formation with Khan in the middle, Atake on the left, and the substitute Kwan on the right-hand side. And Khan did well, cut inside, and the ball fell to Castellanos, who's on the ball again. But his shot was tame and perhaps not reflective of his true footballing abilities, as he wriggles 3 past 2 Cambridge defenders and whips it across, but it goes behind for a goal kick. As I was talking there, Castellanos once again showing his good feet, but then just as he did moments earlier with good feet and then a poor end product.
Thank you, Matt. As Aseli comes out after the goal kick for Cambridge, Avavor on the right-hand side. Here's back to Aseli in the centre-back position, trying to provide some impetus for this Cambridge attack as Kennedy gives it back out wide to Molyneux. Here's Ivy on the left-hand side by the dugouts, on the far side as we look from our position here. Here's Kennedy trying to get it out to this left-hand side where everything is coming from at the moment for Cambridge. Ivy can give it to Sunawa, who can try and turn. Doesn't quite manage to. He can give it all the way back to the centre-back position here for Molyneux. Osei Binney here in the midfield position is dispossessed, though, in a dangerous position. And here come Oxford now. Can try and play it through, but he can't quite manage to. Ayate and Atake, sorry. And Osei Binney now. Avavor, sorry, on this left-hand side. On this right-hand side for Cambridge. And Hardy can take the ball now after the Avavor's assist. Can go for goal. Oh, what a save! Oh, my word. I'm so sorry. I bundled over my words there a little bit, but it was a brilliant ball from Avavor. Out wide there to Hardy, who came on in the halfway through the second half as a substitute, just on the edge of the Oxford box, and shot, and it was a great save. Going top corner, I believe, and it was saved in the end by the Oxford goalkeeper. Really good chance for Cambridge as Cambridge now line up a corner kick. Well, that was a very, very good save and a big moment actually for Cambridge, had they managed to put the ball in the back of the net. But it's going to be taken here by the right foot of Sunawa. Can try and get the ball into the box for some of the big Cambridge men, and it goes all the way out to Houston, who puts his hand on his head. He hopes he should have got a touch on that. But here they come again. Here's Quan. Can give it to Atake. 2 big chances, Matt, in 2 scrambling 5 minutes.
Yeah, really scrabbly 5 minutes. Great play from Sam Hardy, who's putting pressure on the Oxford defence now. Beautiful ball from Avavor, and he cut inside, took a touch, and the ball just seemed to get stuck under his feet there. I thought he might drive at goal a little bit more before shooting, but the ball seemed to get stuck under his feet a little. He took the shot early, and the Oxford goalkeeper needed to get a hand there as the ball looked like it was floating into the top corner. Oxford with the ball deep in their own half, knocking it around sensibly. I think they would be considering to play for penalties now, as Cambridge, whenever Cambridge get it, my bias coming through that, whenever Cambridge get it and start playing, Oxford look distinctly vulnerable at the back.
Thank you, Matt. We only have a couple of minutes left to play here, as the through ball is just a little bit too much for Houston. Puts his thumbs up, thanks to the teammate for the attempt. Houston has grown into the game. He, of course, is the man with the goal. Both sets of players must now start thinking a little bit about penalties here. No substitutions for penalties appear to be made here as the ball comes in front of us here in the stands, as it's going to be a throw in here taken by Smith for Oxford here on this near side. Should be mentioned as well, a couple of Ukrainian flags here that I saw earlier, displaying solidarity there with the Ukraine, of course, today. As Cambridge come forward here on this left-hand side with Ralph Ivey. And they kick it long, and it's not quite as far as Ivey, but here he is taking the throw on this left-hand side, and it comes out of play again. And now it's going to be a throw just outside the penalty area for Cambridge. They have 1 minute to try and get a winning goal here. Who's Sunawa? Who can become the hero today? Who's Sunawa into the Oxford box? Can turn nicely. Oxford can't get it. Lay a finger on him. It's Sunawa. Oh, but he just about loses out there to the Oxford man. 1 touch too many. Couldn't quite get a shot away. As Avavor comes forward now. He plays it forward looking for Hardy, but it's headed away by Oxford. And Oxford come... And it's going to be, I think, an offside. No, Cambridge throw here. And we have played the full 45 minutes here of this second half. So it's going to penalties unless Cambridge can find something miraculous. Great ball from Aseli, but it's blocked out by the Oxford centre-back who's been there all day. Aseli blocks it, though. And it's only as far as Kennedy, the clearance from Oxford. Here's Ivey now. He can press forward. He can play it out now. Here comes Houston! He shoots! Oh, it's just wide. What a goal that would have been, and what a moment it would have been for Cambridge. It's just gone out, I think, for a goal kick, but that was the moment. He had the chance to shoot. He got the shot away, and it's just wide. Matt.
Great ball in. Great ball from, I believe it's Damien Molyneux, slipped in Houston. He spun his man running down the channel and fired the shot across goal, out for a goal kick. The referee checked his watch as they went to collect the ball. That I don't think there's long left here, and it's looking like it's going to be that nervy finish, and it's going to be penalties.
Well, looks like penalties are on the cards, unfortunately for us. And that's really good heading from Osebini there as Jones looks to get it away, but Houston pressing now. Cambridge look the most likely to grab a winner. And we aren't quite sure how much added time is being added on, but we assume it will be a few minutes here. So Cambridge have a couple of minutes as Oxford get the decision, disappointingly, just inside their own half. Or just inside the Cambridge half, I should say, as Smith lines this one up. He's going to try and get the ball long into the box for a last gasp effort. This would be absolutely gutting for Cambridge were this to be converted. It's kicked long, looking for Castellanos, the goal scorer for Oxford. But in the end, Cambridge do well. And they can come out here nicely. Hardy on this right-hand side comes deep to receive it. You can try and play it long, but it's cut out simply by Smith here on the Oxford left. Oxford now have possession of the ball. Suddenly, Oxford look the most likely to score as Mack, who's wearing the captain's armband, can try and play through Atake. But in the end, it goes all the way through to Liam Matthews, who can pick the ball up and look to try and get another attack started. But Oxford and Cambridge do not have long to play. Here's Kennedy. He's fouled and goes down over the ball, and he can take it quickly. Houston, is in possession, but the referee calls it back because the referee wanted to book Khan, I think it. Pal number 6 looks like he's going to get a booking. I think it might be for repeated offences because that one didn't look particularly bad. But I think it's an accumulation of fouls there. And this game, we've had now 47 or 48 minutes of the second half, and it looks like we're going to penalties. And this is going to be very, very tough to watch for everyone of Cambridge and Oxford support. But it's headed on by Sanchez into the penalty area, but it's not quite latched onto by Hardy, and it's cleared out here for a throw-in for Avavor. And Cambridge now, the referee, I thought he was going to put the whistle to his lips there, just clearing his throat. Here's Avavor, gets the ball into the box. Great ball there, but it's just too far for Sunawar. Can't quite rise to the header. And now Oxford come away, and I think this will be the last attack for Oxford. Oxford kick the ball, but it's only as far as Euston, who can turn. Here's Euston now. Here's Sanchez, can turn, can try and play it through to Euston, but it's not quite good enough. But I'll say Binney competing well, can't quite get it. But here's Hardy. Can he gain possession? Be careful not to foul him. And he, in the end, is brought down, but Hardy can win, actually, from that pressure. Smith kicks out of play for a throw for Avavor. This is going to be one of the last attacks now for Cambridge. We've had 48 minutes of the 45 allotted minutes played so far. Here's Euston on the ball now. Can someone get a shot away? Here's Kennedy. Gives it out to Avavor on this right-hand side. Attacking the penalty area of Oxford. He goes down, and it's a Cambridge free kick in a really promising position. And they're just outside the penalty area on this near side. Euston wants it, and I think Euston's going to get it. Is he going to go for goal? Sanchez also wants to stand over it, but he's called away instantly. And there might be some kind of change happening, but I'm going to pass over to you, Matt, in a second. Ryan Hoffman, sorry, Matt. Yeah, called over. He said, Euston, you're on this one. So it's the left foot of Euston, the Cambridge man who got the first goal for Cambridge. He got the equalising goal. The referee blows his whistle. He goes for goal. He actually goes to whip in the ball, but in the end, it's a bit too much. It looked half shot, half crossed in the end. Couldn't quite make up his mind. We've now had almost 50 minutes of this second half. The referee looks to play on still. He's happy for the game to go on. A few added minutes, maybe a couple of bookings in that half made the game go on a little bit longer. That was a loose pass from Oxford, but no one was on it for Cambridge within their own half. As they come forward, he's Smith on the left-hand side, gives it back to Jones. Jones can give it back to the goalkeeper now. And Oxford can try and kick it long. I think at the moment they're just trying to get away. But Castellanos with chest it down. He can't quite keep composure. Sunawar can win it though, and this left-hand side in a dangerous position just outside the penalty area of Oxford. Sunawar can use his right foot to whip it into the penalty area. Oh, but there's a bit of a lack of communication there. And also Binney and Hardy, in the end, lose out. And here comes Khan down this left-hand side, but Avavor using all his pace. And he can shepherd it out of play really, really nicely. Runs all the way from the just inside his own half to win the goal kick for Cambridge. The referee blows his whistle, but not for a goal kick. Not for the end of the game. He blows his whistle for some other reason. He's going to walk over to Khan to see if he's okay. He's down on the ground outside of the touchline. He's hobbling back to his feet. Hopefully he'll be able to take a penalty for Oxford's sake, because he looks like he'll be one of them, given that he is up front for Oxford, as Cambridge take the goal kick, and they take it short. And it's going to be Molyneux who tries to bring out the back with some kind of impetus here for Cambridge. But the referee blows his final whistle. And the game has ended after 90 minutes. Cambridge won, Oxford won. The Kestrels are drawing at full time against the Colts, and I can't believe it, but it's going to penalty kicks. Matt, I am nervous. How do you think that second half panned out? It was exciting.
It certainly was. After that slow start to the second half, where we were just begging for somebody to do something, a bit of quality just to spark the game into life. There, that moment was from Paul Euston, and Danny played in gloriously by Danny Sanchez, who, after his yellow card, did somewhat shy back into his shell, but Euston had a fantastic half. Ujjal Sunawar played brilliantly as well. The Cambridge midfield eventually used their quality and carved out that chance, which Euston finished really nicely, chesting it down and pushing it and across goal into the far corner to make it 1-1. Oxford continued to be dangerous and continued to probe and make sure that Cambridge were honest at the back. However, they didn't really have a clear-cut chance after that, whereas Cambridge had a couple other chances that maybe they should have scored. Another shot flashed across goal from Euston, and that free kick at the end, which was it a shot, was it a cross? He he was almost caught in two minds. Didn't commit to floating it in. Didn't commit to whipping it in at the far post. It's been an electric half of football, breathless even. But now we're in the nitty gritty. It's a penalty shootout to decide whether the Colts or the Kestrels are going to win the third 11 varsity here at Oxford City Football Club. I have to say, I am nervous. I know a lot of the players on the Kestrels team and indeed their coaches, and it would be a fantastic result to come here and take home the trophy. Whew. It's going to be so exciting to commentate on a penalty shootout. I've never actually done this before, but I'm really, really looking forward to it. Let's see if Liam Matthews can be the hero today for the Cambridge third 11, the Kestrels.
Yeah, let's try and familiarise everyone with the goalkeepers because they're going to be mentioned time and again. The goalkeeper for Oxford, we'll start with Cambridge with Liam Matthews, the goalkeeper. We've mentioned him a number of times. He's a second-year economics student at Homerton. Injury problems throughout the year, but back in time for the third 11 varsity. And as the teams come out to stand on the halfway line, they're going to take... I don't think they're decided necessarily which side they're going to take penalties on, but the goalkeeper for Oxford is Bruce Burgess. He looks like he might be a third year, I'm going to guess, but we don't actually know. We don't have the information, but that's going to be it. It's going to be Bruce Burgess, who looked kind of nervy at times, but he did make a big save right at the end of that second half against Liam from Sam Hardy's attempt, wasn't it? Yeah. And then Liam Matthews in the Cambridge goal, the second year, who has got to become the hero today. If he can become the hero, then I think he would live long in the memory of this Kestrels team. Matt.
The referee has chosen that the goal to our left is where the penalties will be taken. So it's the goal at the so just as you enter the ground to our left-hand side. The Cambridge supporters were all at the goal at the right-hand end of the ground, and currently rowdily jogging past to support their team. Here we are. They're so excited. Sonny McPherson's back for his post-match comments. Sonny, can I take your big
penalty shootout?
Thought we deserved more, really, from that, but
we had the chances, didn't we? We had all the chances.
I back Liam Matthews, penalty merchant. He's brilliant with penalties, isn't
Absolutely.
he? And I mean, look at the players we've got lining up for it. We are.
I say technically we look the stronger team. Liam is a really, really good shot stopper, isn't he?
Their keeper is not very good, I don't think. So
Sonny McPherson there, Blues right back, says that. That's not endorsed by Camera Fan, but we have to admit that the keeper looks shaky. Sonny, go join your teammates.
Thank you, Sonny, and thank you, Matt. Well, this is going to be tense, Matt. We're both very, very tense here in the press box. So the skipper for Oxford, the number 9, is going to take it. He's the skipper, of course, substitutes himself off. So the vice skipper, Ben Mack, against Liam Matthews, stands up the penalty spot. All the fans outside the goal trying to put him off. Lines up, shoots, and it's a competent penalty. It's into the side netting on the left-hand side. Goalkeeper Liam Matthews goes the right way, but it's too far into the corner. It's a really good, competent penalty. He opened up his body on his left foot. And it's now going to be up to Sunawa, who has been, in my mind, the man of the match for Cambridge. There's a bit of intimidation from the goalkeeper. Bruce Burgess is talking to him and trying to put him off a little bit. The referee has a word with him. And now Sunawa, the right foot of Sunawa, is lining up. He looks to the stands, he looks to the fans, and then he looks to the goal. He is an image of concentration. He steps off for this one, and it's straight down the middle. Goalie dived. He sat him down, and Sunawa with a nice grin on his face. He must be relieved after that. It's, at the moment, Oxford 1, Cambridge 1 in this penalty shootout, as the next penalty taker for Oxford steps up. Flawless penalties so far. Neither team has managed to save as yet into the second round of these penalties. It's going to be Jack Wilkinson who steps up for Oxford to take this penalty kick. Liam Matthews bobbing up and down on his line, waiting for this one. Here's Wilkinson, who takes, again, calm, composed, opens up his body. Every single player so far has opened up their body and gone into the near post. And this one wasn't too far in the corner, but Matthews unfortunately jumped to the wrong side of the goal. It's Oxford 2, Cambridge 1, as Euston steps up to take this one. He's the man who got the goal in the second half, the equalising goal after 75 minutes. He's the left foot of Euston. He'll be confident with this one. Intimidation from the fans as Houston steps up to take. And he scores straight down the middle again. Seems to be the trend of the day for Cambridge. 2 penalties straight down the middle. And it's Cambridge at the moment. 2 penalties taken, 2 penalties scored. Same with their Oxford counterparts. The Kestrels now take a step back as the Colts step up. And it's going to be the goal scorer, I believe, Castellanos, who's going to stand up and go and take this one. They're going to take the penalty kick. It's going to be Castellanos. He's already got on the score sheet today. Can he get on the score sheet again? It's in. The ball was ever so slow. It crawled into that left-hand side from the right foot, curled it into that right-hand side, and Matthews went the right way again, but he was just too slow. And that's just a shame because he went the right way and he just couldn't quite dive far enough. Hearts in our mouths. Every penalty has been converted so far. And Danny Sanchez here steps up to take for Cambridge. This is going to be a tense finale. If Danny Sanchez scores with 3-3 with 6 penalties taken, the referee has a word with him. Just making sure. Oh, he's actually. The referee's had a word and then Sanchez has run out. He's not. Okay, so this is interesting. I've never seen this before. Danny Sanchez has been told to run back to his team and get some shin pads. So he's going to put on some shin pads and take the penalty. In my mind, that is a little bit pedantic from the referee because he's not going to get hurt. He's only taking a penalty, but I've never seen that in my life. The referee has told Sanchez to go back and put shin pads on so that he can take a penalty. That may put him off, unfortunately. He's going to have a lot of extra mental work there to try and get himself back into the place that he was before he was spoken to by the referee and told to put shin pads on. Hopefully, he can still convert this one. Royce Borges stands up tall in the Oxford goal. Sanchez to take. And Sanchez to score! Really good penalty. Absolutely cool, calm, and collected there. Nothing that the referee can say to him can put him off. And look at him triumphantly taking off his shin pads as he walks back to his team. The referee can't tell him off now as the number 6 here, Powell, who's had a really good game in the central midfield for Oxford, is going to take the penalty, the 4th penalty here. Any kind of miss now would put any team strongly on the back foot. It's going to be Powell to line up to take this one with the right foot of Powell. He shoots, and to be honest, I think Matthew should have backed himself a little bit more there. He didn't commit to either side. In the end, it was straight down the middle in the roof of the net. A good high penalty. Matthews kind of reluctantly, in vain, stuck out a right hand, but it looks like neither goalkeeper's getting anywhere near saving any of these penalties. So Max Asali, the centre-back, is going to step up to take this one. It's the 4th penalty for Cambridge, and it's 4-3 currently to Oxford. If Cambridge miss this one, Oxford will score to win. The pressure is on Max Asali's young shoulders. He shoots and scores, and that was, wow. He went with the laces. He went with the laces. In the end, it was just between the middle and the left of the goal and the roof of the net. The goalie actually guessed right, but he was just too slow, and he couldn't quite beat the power of Max Asali, who used all of the power within him to power that home into the top and the roof of the net. Well, this is getting nervy. And here, up steps Smith. It's Smith, and it's sudden death now. The 5th penalty. If Smith misses, it's all over potentially for Oxford. Smith takes! And I thought for a second there that the goalkeeper was going to stay put, but he did dive to his left-hand side. And I am so nervous now because Ralph Ivy, who's my college husband, is stepping out to take this one. And he has to score, or Cambridge are heading out of the, well, they won't win the trophy, and it'll be Oxford's. And wow, I am nervous. Ralph Ivy, the captain for the Kestrels. The big pressure kicks go to the big pressure players. Ivy shoots! And there was nothing on that, really. And Ivy walks forward, devastated there, and Oxford claim the win. That's so disappointing for Ivy, but he's consoled by all his teammates, and they wish him the best, and there's absolutely nothing, no hard feelings for Ivy there, because he played really well in that game. On the left-hand side, he did really well, but unfortunately, he only took 1 or 2 steps there, and it's straight into the hands of the Oxford man. I think the nerves might have got to him there a little bit, but fair play to Cambridge and fair play to Oxford. Oxford will be delighted with that one, but Cambridge have done themselves so proud here. Matt Griffiths.
It's cruel that it had to end in a penalty shootout. It's cruel that it had to end with the captain's mistake. Paul Ivy, he was the brave man. He took, Ralph Ivy. He was the brave man. He took the pressure spot kick. It was a score to win. It was a score to stay in it. If he failed to convert, the game was lost. After 90 minutes of intense action, as Josh said, he seemed to sort of rush himself under the pressure, the little two-step run up, and he looks like he scuffed the ball. He did not get the connection that he was looking for, and the keeper fell down to his right and made a pretty comfortable save. It's a shame that it has to end like this for the Cambridge team because they were on top in that 90 minutes. They had a great penalty shootout up to that point. I think Ralph Ivy should be proud of his performance and proud of his team. The Kestrels don't quite get over the line today. Congratulations to the Colts. Their early goal and defensive rigidity and then coolness under pressure with the penalties has won the trophy for them today. We are going to be wrapping up here pretty shortly. My co-commentator is absolutely devastated for his college husband. We'll be wrapping up here shortly, but we hope you could join us on Cam FM Radio proper for a whole afternoon of fantastic football coming up. We've got the Eagles versus the Furies, which are the respective universities' women's second team football varsity, which is going to be fantastic. The women are starting to warm up now as we speak. Oxford are huddled there, enjoying their celebrations. Cambridge still consoling their captain. You can hear the noise from the Oxford supporters. Craig, football can be a fickle game, and it's shown that here today, here at the Oxford City Football Club. A fantastic game. It's full time here. It was 1-1, and after penalty shootouts, the results is Colts 5, Kestrels 4, and they win the third team varsity this year.
Well, massive congratulations to the Colts. They fought well. They held Cambridge back in the second half. And in the end, it was a victory for the Colts. So Cambridge thirds going home without anything to show for it. But they left everything out there on the pitch. A really good performance and massive, massive congratulations to them. We're going to take a break now because we need to catch our breath and have a bit of water, get our voices back ahead of the next game. But if you are joining us here on the YouTube live stream, we'll see you over on the Cam FM website where we're going to get going, hopefully from about 2:15 or 2:20. So we'll see you there ahead of the women's twos game, the Eagles against the Furies. So we'll see you there. Thank you very much for joining us. It's ended a victory for the Colts on penalty shootout after a 1-1 draw.